program, they would find effective ways to do it, just like she said.
If it were financially effective, then they would find the means.
Well, now they argue, that's an argument that I got. I'll never forget this. I was giving a lecture once, and there was a guy named A.J. Henley, who was the head of HMA, Health Management, one of the managed care organizations. And so that's what he said. He said, I don't know of any effective ways to do smoking cessation. He said, if we had effective programs that we could prove were cost effective, then I would do them. Okay, that's what he said. And so I said, well, you're very fortunate, I said, that you are here with me. I said, because we just got finished writing a book on it for the federal government. And I said, here, I have a copy of it in my bag. And I pulled out the book on smoking cessation that was done for the federal government, Agency for Healthcare Quality and Research. I mean, you know, we have grade A evidence on the different types of techniques, all of it's outlined. I said, here's a copy of it. You know, now, what their argument is, and this is what their argument is, you can't expect to have a program that has a 100% success rate on an issue like smoking cigarettes. You know, if you have a program that has a 20 or 30% quit rate, that's an effective program. You can't expect to have a program where everybody that takes the program is going to stop smoking, because we know, because of the nature of the addiction, that sometimes it takes many tries for a person to actually stop smoking cigarettes. You see what I'm saying? But be realistic. How do you compare that? I mean, if you compare it to a cigarette company will spend hundreds of millions of dollars on an ad campaign to increase their percentage in the marketplace by 3 or 4%. So how can we expect to spend a few $1,000s and have 100% increase in our market? You see what I'm saying? It's not even a fair comparison between the two.
But it just doesn't seem logical to me for one to say that there's no financial benefit derived to the healthcare institutions for people if people stop smoking.
Right. Well, see, they don't see it that way.
And therefore they're not motivated to do so.
You know why they don't?
It seems to me that,
yeah. Let me tell you why they don't see it that way. And this is another big argument. When you look at the statistics, what you find is that many people switch plans on a regular basis. So a large percentage of the people who are enrolled, they're in this plan 1 year, they change jobs or whatever, and they're in another plan the other year. So what the actuarials do with a health care company, they say, well, I'm going to have this person for 2 or 3 years. So they're only concerned about what cost benefit they can have for that short period of time. They're not looking at a 20-year savings or a 10-year savings or whatever. See what I'm saying? So what they're figuring is that by the time the cancer gets them, they're going to be in somebody else's program, not in mine. Am I right?
Profit based.
You see, so that's the problem. That's why a single payer universal plan is a more effective way, because there's no way now to cherry pick or shift the people around. Because you see, what a lot of the insurance companies do is they cherry pick. You know, no insurance plan wants to have sick people. They don't want to have sick people. You want healthy people who are employed, have a job or whatever, because you know that the cost of care for them is going to be lower. And you want those people to go into some other plan, but not into yours.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Healthcare is a commodity in this
That's
country, and it's bought and sold on the stock exchange there. You're a commodity. Your healthcare is a commodity. And what happened, let me introduce myself. I'm Maureen May. I'm a nurse at Temple. I'm also the president of the Nurses Union of the Columbia University Hospital Nurses Association. And I spend a lot of time, you know, we were in Washington last week with the California nurses. And here's what happens is, it doesn't matter what patient comes through the door for me, the type of care that I give remains the same. You know, you have certain responsibilities towards the patient, and what you had or who you are doesn't matter to me as a direct caregiver. I've been a nurse for over 25 years. And what happens today is with the insurance companies is that it's a bottom line profit-based system. So what happens is when these insurance companies and all the shareholders are on the phone with the hospitals and whoever else has you know, their interest in that, you know, making money, what happens is the only way to increase the profit or to show a better bottom line is to have more money and pay less out in your insurances. So what happens is, you know, your health care is being reduced. They have to take away, they have to show a profit. So what's happening is the length of stays in the hospital, they try to push you out the door faster. You know, it's just one thing snowballs after the other.
Right.
And we
And
don't have to
eliminate
take care of each
pre-existing,
other
yeah.
anyway. The bottom line is we all have to have health care because it doesn't matter who you are. We all are in this together. You know, and there's just so much money, so much profit. And I'm being told that I'm spending too much time doing a dressing change. Everything is time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Everything is time. How long you're taking too long to do a blood pressure. Well, you know, I need to, why? Here's another example is, somebody, it used to be and years ago, when a patient's family member would die, you would allow them time at the bedside to, you know, grieve or have that moment. You know what? There's a time now. If you can't grieve in 30 minutes or you can't get it together in 30 minutes, you need to get out because we got somebody waiting for that bed, and this is called throughput. So there's so many things that are just need to be fixed, and if you have, you know, the nurses want universal health care.
Yes.
They know it's not going to change what they deliver at the bedside. They actually know it'll improve it. It will improve because I also work on the money end of it. And I sit in logistics, and what happens is I'll get a phone call from another hospital, and we have the specialty to take care of it. But you know what? There is so much time, money, and effort spent in just figuring out if we're going to get paid. And if we're not, guess what? Patients are getting stuck. Hospitals and things, if you're there too long, and you're a placement problem, they're stuck. They're not getting the financial reward that they want because you know you're a placement problem.
Yes.
And to us, you know, you're a person, you're a patient, and that's for us. That's how it is, and that's why, you know, the nurses obviously buy into a universal health system.
Yes.
I know I'd like to say, I'm a third-year medical student at PCOM, and I know from the perspective of someone entering into the healthcare field, as a physician, I would love to know that I don't have to limit myself to 10 minutes with my patient. If my patient needs 20 minutes, that they can have my full 20 minutes. And that I don't have to limit their access to whatever is available to me and my knowledge armamentarium to help them because of insurance or because of a time scheme that needs to be met. And it's really quite unfortunate considering considering how things go on globally. And I mean, when I say globally, I mean as far as the food industry. Obesity costs $117 billion a year. From obesity, we get diabetes, we get cardiovascular disease, we have
That's
so
number
many
two.
diseases that come from something as simple as how we eat.
That's right.
And if we can allocate our monies effectively so that each person can receive adequate care, preventative care, health education in schools for young people so that they are not eating these things that cause them to have disease in the long run, just overall the system would be better.
Yes.
And I agree, I support it as well.
I have to make a point here, because the level, it's as if you're looking at it that this problem is brought about solely because of insurance companies.
No, it's not. No,
Thank
it's not.
you. Because there's a lot of greed on the part of the health institutions, hospitals. too.
Sure.
Okay.
I agree.
As long as we
They're the
got
ones
that.
finding, they're the ones that are, you know, on the side, leaving me temples on the line.
Oh, yes, oh,
You know,
yes.
because they have a stake in it too.
Absolutely.
You know, the CEOs and the administrators,
That's
you know,
right.
they have a big stake in this.
I mean, look at Temple University Health System. They run Northeastern Hospital. And for profit reasons that you mentioned, is going to close Northeastern.
Right.
And so, like you said, it's not only the private insurance companies, but really, I think, arguably, they're the root of it, because the hospitals do what they want, essentially. And unfortunately, there was a woman who sued Temple Hospital because she didn't get the right procedure, because she came to the decision with her doctor that her insurance wouldn't pay for it. And so they did the procedure, but it ended up being the wrong one. She sued for medical malpractice and won millions of dollars. You know, and arguably that, people could say from a financial standpoint, led to why Northeastern had to close. You know, because the money that they had to pay this woman. But all that underscores the importance of, you know, medical malpractice being reduced if it was properly, if John Conyers' bill, single payer, would have saved hospitals and private insurance money in the long run. You know, and